This is a cold open into the 2025 International Coleman Collectors Club Conference. Enjoy. First up, it's like, what's your name and
My
what do you
name's
do?
Eric Hopkins, and I'm right outside Metro Detroit.
Okay,
So just been collecting for about a year or so.
excellent.
Small YouTube channel I got.
Okay, yeah, what's the channel?
It's Eric H86 Dances with Wolves.
Okay, great. So you got a couple uploaded on there then?
Yeah, about 80 videos.
Wow, you've been busy in a year.
Yeah.
I did that too when I started off, and now it's kind of like, as everyone knows, it's kind of when the spirit moves me at the moment.
Right.
So are you set up out here somewhere?
No,
or?
I'm just, drove in and just to see this for the first time. This is my first convention. So,
Yeah, well, fantastic. How are you enjoying it so far?
you prefer to have a little bit of money when you come in there.
Yeah.
'Cause it's all the stuff you read about or see about, these are the places you see in person.
Yes, yep, absolutely. Yeah, excellent. So you're going to be here through the weekend or just for the day?
Yeah, just stay here through the weekend.
Great.
We got some weather coming in, so we don't know, but it's great to get everybody together from all over the metro. Pretty much there's people outside the U.S. here too. So,
Yeah, excellent. So you got anything in particular that you're looking for?
I'm on this single mantle kick.
Okay.
So
That's a good kick to be on.
Yeah, I'm on this single mantle kick right now. So
You're being interviewed.
yeah, so. But yeah, it's super cool to experience this for the first time.
Okay. Any specific single man that you're looking for? New, old, big, small?
So 242s.
Okay, yeah.
I have the A, B, and C, so I'm
Right.
trying to get all the letters.
Yeah,
Right, and it's hard to
absolutely.
find.
Yeah. The NL is also being a little more of a challenge.
Right. And I met a guy last night at the campground, and he has the K version.
Okay, yeah.
And he's shown me, because the knob is different and things are
Right.
different on that one.
Yep.
The preheater cup is cast.
Yeah, you have that weird little tip cleaner knob on there, which half of those usually broke off at this point in their
Right.
life.
So, it's cool, but this is the place to find it.
Excellent. Well, great. Well, have a good time.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you. Is this the kitchen?
I have no idea.
Yep.
All right, so we're going to kind of continue on with a little bit of a look-see around here.
Imagine sitting right here with that project here.
Get to be live action in a hurry real fast there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Those.
Yeah.
Got quite the collection of mantles here. I brought along my radio code, so that way we can take a look and see how hot this is, and it's pretty hot just sitting right here. You don't even have to get close.
We know what it is. It's been sitting there for 50 years.
So what you're hearing in the back there is the clicking from the gamma ray spectrometer. As I get up to the, you can see it there in the picture, but as I get close, it'll really go off. Yeah, this is a gamma ray spectrometer, so we're picking up all the radiation off of these. Yeah, it's there's a lot here.
Yeah, there's a lot of mammals.
Yeah,
So, can you see between the different boxes if you put it up by that, or will it pick up?
there's so many here right now. It's just, well, you're not going to see anything here.
Yeah, I was gonna say because
Yeah, you won't. I mean, we're close, but if we go down, like, say, to like, well, not probably. I don't know. There's about any one like these here. That's just crazy. so anyway,
No, that one there's gonna blow that thing up.
yeah. I don't know. This is actually more.
Wow.
The sears are.
Wow.
Yeah, the sears are more.
That checks for radioactivity, I assume.
Yeah, this is a gamma ray spectrometer.
Wow. Wow. Does Warren knows that you have that?
Yeah, actually,
Okay.
I think he does.
When you go through the factory and see those gals making those things, that was fascinating.
Yeah.
And you think of how much radiation they got.
Yeah, for sure.
My name is Bob Hitchcock,
Bob, good to meet you.
and I started Old Coleman Parts years ago. And I
Ah, okay.
worked for Coleman for a long time. So
Okay.
So
Well, great. Yeah, I'm running a YouTube channel. It's called Gas Under Pressure. So
Oh.
you're live right now. So if you don't mind.
I'm not. That's scary.
No, really, that's fantastic. Yeah, I only got started into all this stuff probably about 4 years ago or something like that.
Yeah.
And so I try to get this thing to kind of be quiet because it's kind of annoying.
Now,
There we go.
what do you do in your YouTube channel?
So the YouTube channel is composed of me kind of basically taking any kind of Coleman item that's not in a functional state, breaking it down, talking about theory of operation, repairing whatever's wrong, putting it back together, and essentially kind of showing everyone how to do that kind of stuff.
Okay. I
So-
started before I went to work for the Coleman Company, I owned a repair station in Tacoma, Washington.
Ah, okay, yeah.
And so then being the owner of a repair station, the Coleman salesman asked me if I would do repair days for them. And
Right.
Are you aware of Coleman repair days at all?
No, I'm not.
They would advertise in the paper that a Coleman repair person would be in such and such drugstore or wherever
Okay.
it was.
Yeah.
And I would be the guy who would be there
Ah, okay.
and repair them. You'd have maybe 20, 30 people lined up
Right, yeah.
and have to repair all their stoves and lanterns and
Right.
charge them very little and then make them happy. You'd have to light each stove and
Yeah.
each lantern, make sure they work properly.
Yeah.
And one time I took a lid off of a 220 lantern and
Yeah.
burned all the hair off my arm quickly.
And none of that's the kind of excitement you need.
Yeah, right. But the key to that was that you have to keep a straight face and as if this just happens all the time.
Exactly.
Nothing new, even though the hair stinks.
It's like that'll grow back. I
Yeah,
got more on the other arm.
Yeah. So,
Excellent.
well, that's interesting. So I can learn how to repair Coleman stoves and lanterns.
Well, yeah, I guess right now. I'm not sure. Well, there's such a simple, robust design,
Oh yes.
and you know it's like, you know, anyone can make a system complicated.
Yeah.
Making it simple is the true elegance,
Right.
and that's where that longevity comes in.
And 90% of the repairs, there was nothing wrong with the product. It was the user.
Right.
So
yeah.
what you had to do, you had to put in a new generator,
Right.
no matter whether it needed it or not.
Right. Yeah.
And just to show them that you'd done something,
Yeah.
and then show them how to light it.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
So that's 90% of it is salesmanship.
Right.
And
right.
10% of it is knowing how to repair it.
Right, and it's great customer relations.
Yeah.
You know, the actual parts outlay is not
Yeah.
that much to the company, and you know, the minor charges. So yeah,
Right. When I started Old Coleman Parts, when I worked for Coleman, I had tons of repair parts. And before I did that, I owned the repair business and I had all those repair parts. And they'd been sitting in my garage for 25 years,
Right.
done nothing. So I decided to go on the internet and start Old Coleman Parts and see what I could do.
yeah,
Now, Rob, have you
right.
met Rob?
Yep.
Okay, so.
And I see the Mike's here too. So did it
Oh,
go
yeah.
from you to Mike and then to Rob?
Right, yeah.
Okay.
So it's,
I told Rob if he needs to sell it to look me up. So
well, Rob is really invested a lot in
yeah,
it.
he has.
And when I knew nothing about computers, I knew nothing about, am I being videoed?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. Lucky you. Yeah.
But Rob really got that website
Yeah.
really up and running and doing a great job.
Yeah.
So I have tremendous respect for Rob. So,
Yeah. No, it's really grown by leaps and bounds. I mean,
Yeah.
Mike had it pretty good, but yeah, the stuff that he's got on there now is like, yeah, a whole nother Whole nother iteration.
Right, just exactly right. And I don't think he's too anxious to sell, is he?
Yeah, probably not, but I plant a bug in his ear anyway. I didn't know that Mike was trying to sell it, otherwise I would have jumped, but oh well,
Yeah.
that's part of the deal of being new to the game. You know, you don't
Yeah.
necessarily get the
And
inside
what
information.
got you started with this?
So what got me started with this? Let me think about it. Well, actually, it was kind of an outgrowth of COVID. So my dad had a 228H. Had that for years. I'd gone hunting and camping with it and always enjoyed it. Always found it fascinating how you can take such a volatile fuel and turn it into like this brilliant white tame light. And that to me was just like kind of magical, right?
Yeah.
And so COVID started, we started running around going to all these kind of outdoor antique malls and stuff like that. And I saw this old decrepit 228 and I was like, well, shoot, let me go ahead and grab that. These things shouldn't be hard to fix. I need a light above my barbecue, so let me go ahead and grab that. It's $10, right?
Yeah.
Got it, got home, messed with a little bit, new generator, off she went. It was perfect.
Yeah.
And just started doing that. And I'm like, I wonder if there's Coleman Collectors Club. And then, just all went downhill from there.
Yeah. Have you got one of the books or both the books, the green book? And
No, but there's see one that's down there, and I'm looking to get
yeah,
that one too. Yeah.
I would encourage you to do that. The thick book, they got a couple hundred of them left, I
Yeah.
think. So you don't have to rush to buy that.
Yeah.
But and let me tell you, a lady by the name of Darcy, do you know, have you heard that name?
No, can't say that I have.
Oh, Darcy's, she did a lamp shade.
Yes, the Shade book. Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
She
yeah.
did that. And
Okay.
Darcy made sure every detail in that new book was correct. And she and Terry and the people who really did the hard work on it. So
Yeah.
I had the advantage that I had some old catalogs, so
Right. Okay.
they used some of them. I went visited Darcy and Dwayne.
Yeah.
And really neat people. It's too bad they're not here.
Yeah. Yeah.
We will miss them.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, for sure. Yep. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate your time. All right, let's get back to taking a look through there. Yeah, it was good to talk with Bob there and learn a little bit more about where OCP started from. Get a chance to take a look at some of these collections here. That's every single 200A made every year and what their changes were in between. So a couple other little cool tabletop displays here. This one's an all Canada one, really cool. I realize I'm going through these pretty quickly, but to sit there and stare them down one by one would it would really take a lot of time. So I was just kind of moving my way through here.
All right, well, you'll get out when you get out. Get out and we'll get you a new plane.
We're just going to start off with a brief introduction and
Yeah,
go from there.
sure. Well, I'm Kai. I'm out of Michigan,
Okay.
and I've been collecting Aladdin since about 1980 with my father.
Okay.
And some of these down on the end here are what I've had from his collection, like this one and this one here. Some of my favorites because they're sentimental to me.
Right.
But this is a model number 1.5 quart embossed foot, and I think
Yep.
they're just like a few models known.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
And this is a Sunbeam made for the Manta Lamp Company, and it's even more rare than that. Maybe the only known example in a 1.5 quart embossed foot. So kind of two really neat lanterns, or lamps, table lamps, I should say. And then I just kind of followed it up with an Aladdin PL1 here.
Right. Yeah.
But it's kind of neat because it's got the tool with it.
Okay.
A little match holder here. And then the rest of them just kind of go into Coleman's. I tried to put a variety out here.
Right.
So you'll see, like this one here is from Australia.
Yep.
And then I've got a couple Canadian examples here, as well as this 238B.
Nice.
And then this one's actually a Hong Kong.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's a 555 Geo. But after Canada stopped producing them, they started making them in Hong Kong. Then I just
Interesting.
thought I'd bring this one along because it has the box, the 220BX.
Of course. And it actually says BX, so there's
Yeah.
no doubt
Yeah,
about it, right?
Yeah, exactly. So
No 20-minute debates. Is
Right,
it really an
right,
X?
right. I don't know why that one gets to be such a hot topic, but, you know. But some of these are you know, just a little more fun to find than others. But
Great.
there's a good variety. I just tried to bring so that
Yeah.
you know. you can-
Yeah, very good. No, really nice looking collection. I just, all the very, very bright nickel on it. 238B is awesome. These are actually really very cool.
Yeah.
I had not seen those before, especially you mentioned the embossed foot on it there. So,
Yeah, and then you start to get into the 1.5 quart versus 1
Right.
quarts, and that really makes them interesting.
yeah.
I was a boy collecting with my father when he found this one and this one,
Uh-huh.
and then when he passed away, I just grabbed them, and they never seen the light of day, and I thought, oh, let's go show them.
Yeah, for
People
sure.
would enjoy to see them since they're such odd
Yep.
examples
Excellent.
of the early Aladdin stuff. So
Well, very good.
Yeah.
Well, thanks so much for your time. Really appreciate it.
yeah, enjoy yourself.
All right. You too. Okay, so from here we're going to enter the show. Start off here with Micah from Rob Butts, and again I'll kind of apologize here. I have this thing on hyper smooth to try to keep it from giving everyone vertigo, but as you can tell, it's head mounted, and I kind of look around like a crazed squirrel looking at this stuff, even though I've been through it a couple of different times. So appreciate y'all's patience, and might want to get your Dramamine on this time before it gets too bad. But at any rate, I'll just probably not do a whole lot of narration here. Just kind of let you guys kind of take the walk through here with me and see what you can see. You got Ron Stricker there, Ron Stricker Auctions, and yeah, so a lot of interesting stuff to see there. Some pretty cool displays. Stuff for sale, stuff for just being out there for being viewed.
Been a while.
It's good stuff.
Oh, yeah, from New York.
Yeah.
I do.
Sleevis, you doing interviews?
I'm doing interviews. I am doing interviews. Do you want to do an interview?
Sure.
Hey, all right.
I'm Scott Seeley,
Okay.
GPA Junkyard.
GPA Junkyard. So tell me how you got into all this junk.
Well, it just kind of just happened. It's just weird how you go try and find parts and stuff, and then the next thing you know, you can't find them, and then you go someplace and you find a bunch of them, and then everybody says, "Hey, I need that," and then it's develops into a, "Hey, I got parts. Do you want these parts?" And then we started buying parts, and now we're just getting cool stuff for ourselves and providing parts that instead of sitting in the basement for 30 years, they're out and people can use it.
Right.
So ran into a lot of that where it was bragging rights to have all the different parts.
Right. Yeah.
Whoever had the most parts.
Yeah.
But it's really
Ultimately not useful though when they're just sitting there, huh?
That's right. So yeah. So that's basically how this came between me and Chris Galbraith. We just said, let's get the parts out there. We'll get some cool stuff out of it for our own collections. We're not Rockefellers. We're not. It's not anything you're going to quit all your jobs and go retire in Florida on. But
Right.
it's still fun. We like coming. We like hanging out with the people. We got a lot of great friendships here, and we like coming back to Ohio. This is our third time back in Ohio, and it's always a great time to come up here and hang out. It's a little hot. It's a little hotter than normal.
It is a little warm.
Yeah. It kind of reminds me of Austin. When we were in Austin.
Yep, and I was there, yeah.
Austin was hot, but it was like I said, it was a dry heat. This is 98 This is 98 degree with 98% humidity.
Yeah, it is a little bit warm. Well, I tell, people are like, wait, you're from Texas. You brought this with you. I'm like, I promise. I was trying to get away from it. And they just followed me or something. So
You're not going to get away from it. You're not going to get away from it.
so anyway.
But yeah, so that's what we're doing.
Well, very good.
Doing parts.
Fantastic.
Parts.
Yep. Well, excellent.
That's a quote that Frank would do.
There you go. Well, thanks so much for your time. Really appreciate it.
You got it, boss. Thanks, buddy.
Yeah. Always good to talk with Scott, and always good for parts and pieces and stuff that you're looking for. So yeah, he's a good feller and always has something interesting. You can find him on Facebook, GPA Junkyard there, and I believe they got a eBay site also that you can pick stuff up. And if you don't see it listed, you can always give him a shout, because sometimes he'll have something he just hasn't got listed or discovered yet or whatever it is, and he can find it for you. So he's a good resource to have.
Because they didn't have good patents. So
They're not gonna get into that.
That knock it down to $1.
So as we round the corner, we see Cigar Mike there, who was the previous owner to Old Coleman Parts, is now owned by Rob. And then here on the right, this is Ed Erb's setup. So all the stuff that he's got for sale. So Ed was the host of the 2025 ICCC. And so he was a really great guy. He's got an incredible museum. In fact, there he is right there. We're just kind of breezing right by him there on the way to look at some of these table lamps. But nonetheless, yeah, that's Ed and his stuff. Really great guy. Really was key to making this whole conference this year come out as nicely as it did.
You did see the box, right?
I did, yep. Yeah, I definitely did.
That's been kept in a regular pile.
Yeah.
Got some old projectors here. Pretty cool. You can actually still buy these, all run by 237s. Yeah, you can see a pile of gold bonds here, and those are reproductions. And the vendor talks about that later on in the video. So I'm walking by and I see this oddly, faintly tinted green glass shade there. So I said, this is probably a good time to whip out the ultraviolet pen and see if it's uranium. You bet. Glows bright green. Unfortunately, lit out of my price range there, but still very cool.
But the campground, stay here.
Stay in here.
Stay upstairs.
Well, it's a little warm out there.
Yeah.
But if you get a chance, come on
We're
out.
gonna come out for the week. We're be out there. My brother was out there last night with Tom. And then I'm gonna go for the weenie roast tonight.
Absolutely.
Here we come upon a pretty good lineup of lanterns there, all chronological order, all individually named, labeled. It's probably about the most complete collection of ones that I've seen lined up like this. It's really something to see, and it goes on forever. There we go. Turn to the left. Okay. Yeah, I got to be patient with myself sometimes, because again, I'm like, hey, was there coffee there earlier? Wait, no, lanterns got it. Yeah, you just got to deal with my OCD and full display, or ADHD and full display here.
a different one to replace.
I got a little time restriction today. Sometimes there's lots of rain that goes on those legs. Other times
Having a good show.
So far, yeah. Walking around doing interviews.
Mark Beckett from Asheville, Ohio, and I do maintenance up in Lake County for a major fast food chain.
Okay, yeah.
I've been with the business for 32 years.
Okay, yeah, great.
Yeah, get up early in the morning and get off early afternoon, but I get my 8 hours in each day.
There you go. Well, early afternoon getting out of work is a good thing.
Yeah.
So how'd you get into all of this excitement?
Yeah, I found the stove I used to use when I was camping when I was little. I thought I sold it at a garage sale.
Yeah.
I was looking for a freaking battery charger. I thought I had sold. I found it, and I'm like, now dawn of the internet age.
Right.
I started researching Coleman stuff. It's not all red and green, boring stuff. They made some really neat stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Hobby was born. That's where I live in Ashtabula.
Yeah.
We're in the Amish hotbed. There's a lot of Coleman products and stuff like that you find at flea markets. And stuff. In our agricultural rural area.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff.
Excellent. So out of all this stuff here, I mean, what's one of your major finds? Or I mean, probably it's not out here if it's a major find, but
major find. Well, at Earth here.
Yeah.
Those projectors.
Yeah, those projectors are awesome.
My display tables out toward the left.
Okay. All the table lamps and everything. Yeah. Okay. Those are
left. You'll see one of these projectors put together.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Right outside. Yeah.
It's a major find.
So how did you run across these? Was that just luck of the draw, or?
Yeah, Ed Herb had a bunch of these.
Okay.
They were in parts and pieces. I was able to restore them. Just the top cover pieces are missing on it.
Right.
But, I was able. This is original paint here. They came in this like a Colac brown. They call it Colac.
Right. Yeah.
And then I used some Chrysler valve cover.
The hammer tone. Yeah.
Because the outside will hold up fine. Holds up to 500 degrees.
Okay.
So I was able to. So it'll go on black. It'll look real slick, but it'll look ugly.
Yeah.
But if you do it between 70 and 75 degrees with very low humidity.
Yeah.
Just give it time, it'll wrinkle up. The paint dries real slow. So you have 2 or 3 days of sunny weather.
Oh, really? Okay.
Don't want any rain.
Yeah, definitely not.
Some other paint I can get away with. I spray it, let it harden up, and if it gets rains on it overnight, big deal.
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
Yeah.
But,
very cool.
And those are reproduction gold bonds. Those aren't the real thing.
Right. Yeah.
So I was able to get some tops from a guy off eBay, and I was able to get the period correct tanks. I stripped them bare metal and sprayed them.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Excellent. So, anything in the future that you're looking for that you haven't found yet?
Well, with all this moving, this stuff in and out of my van.
Yeah.
I mean, I unloaded my van, and that thing, I saw my van smoking a cigarette after I got all the weight out of it. Yeah, so it's telling me, Mark, you need to slow down. I mean, I feel better. I'm not the only guy that supposedly hoards stuff.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, well, very good. Well,
it's a reality check when you have to do all that loading on.
You're like, this is so much stuff. Where did all this come from, right?
Yeah, right.
Oh, very good. Well, hey, thank you very much. Appreciate it. Thanks for your time. Well, it's good to have a quick little chat with him and talk about the stuff that he's got there. Those projectors are really, really cool, and honestly, not a bad price on them either. But as cool as it is, I'm like, okay, if I have it, now what am I going to do with it, right? It's just another thing to store. So anyway, I kind of passed, but here's a cool Coleman neon sign, little 519 radiant heater in front of it. And some other pretty cool stuff.
I couldn't get my hands in there to pull the chain, and it was funky angles.
And question for you. Yes. The seminars tomorrow, I have 2 seminars about. It just says to be determined. Has it been determined yet?
So all in all, this was a really great show. Over 330 people showed up. Great fellowship, great food, great dinners, great support by Ed, and just a really, really good time. If you've never been to a convention, you should go to one. Until next time, keep them lit.